Hi, Rachel. Do you have a second? Your brother and I have something to tell you. Hey, Katie, of course. What is it? Mark and I are having a baby. I'm 3 months pregnant now. What? Oh my gosh! Congratulations! We better throw a baby shower soon then. Oh, we're fine, thank you. I'm sure we'd be better off planning and celebrating for ourselves than leaving it to you. I'm sorry, what? I didn't reach out to you just to let you know that I was pregnant. I actually had a very important favor to ask of you. Once the baby in my belly is born, I'd like to ask you to never show yourself in front of us again. I need to make sure that our child doesn't grow up seeing you as a role model. Are you serious? So you're suggesting that we stop being family? Yes! I'm never going to get to see the two of you or the baby. Exactly. I'm sorry, it's been very difficult being around a high school graduate lowlife myself. And it's even more out of the question to be forcing my own child to be around one. So I'll be maintaining a good distance with you from now on. Wow, just wow. And before you even ask, yes, Mark 100% agrees with this. You know, I would even go as far as to say that he was the one who came up with the whole idea in the first place. That we should distance ourselves from you since you're a high school graduate. I'm glad that the two of us have felt the same way about this matter. You two have always treated me like this. You know that I wanted to go to college too. I had no choice but to start work because that's what our family needed. The company that your parents were running went out of business, right? I've heard that you were all struggling to get by for a while. Our parents were able to find different jobs after that and worked for years. That's the only reason why Mark was able to go to college, unlike me. Are you still going to make fun of me while knowing all of that? I mean, I do feel bad for you, but then again, a high school graduate is a high school graduate, and that's that. Society won't take into account why your educational background is the way it is. Seriously. Through my educated eyes, you people are all the same. And it hurts my eyes when I have to watch you uneducated people make all of these excuses as to why you were unable to get a proper education. It really brings out your lack of dignity. Why is it that the worse the educational background, the more excuses people have? I would never make an excuse if I was in your shoes. So what you're trying to say is, regardless of what I say, the words that come out of my mouth are still those of a high school graduate, so you don't care. Whatever, I get what you're trying to tell me. If that's what you want, then I won't show myself in front of the two of you ever again after your child is born. I was scared that you wouldn't understand me, so I'm glad you do. I'll be headed then. Goodbye!
Rachel, guess what? I now live in an apartment in the middle of the city inside a skyscraper. I'm officially on top of the world.
Oh, wow, that's great. Did you two decide to move in preparation to welcome the child?
Yeah, I read that the location at which you live significantly affects the child's educational outcome. I mean, you can see that it's true from me and Katie. We both grew up in the city, and now we're both graduates from prestigious universities, and work at mega companies. I'm sure our child is going to turn out as bright as the two of us, so we better make sure their environment doesn't drag them down.
I agree. I think it's important for a parent to prioritize education. I've also read that the location the child grows up greatly affects their drive towards achieving well in school.
Exactly! I mean, it's common sense that if you live with idiots, then you'll become one yourself. And in order to avoid that from happening, Kitty and I are raising our child in the best and brightest environment that we could provide.
That's great. Your apartment must really be amazing.
Yeah, it's the type of place that someone with an educational background like you could only dream of. I've heard rumors of celebrities living there, and apparently, it even houses CEOs and managers from all kinds of big companies. That's why the school that's built nearby is one of the best in the state.
Wow, the rent must really be expensive.
Yeah, The room itself is also really luxurious too. It's pretty spacious and has a great view. Sorry to show off like this, but I'm sure you can live somewhere like this if you can go ahead and graduate from college. It probably isn't too late. In fact, I'll invite you over so you can take a look.
You're inviting me over. I thought you hated people who aren't graduated from a nice college. Why would you invite me to your house?
As you've heard from Katie, you'll never see her or me again once our child is born. So I thought it would be nice to have a chance to say our last goodbye. And also, you'll probably never get the chance again. So I thought it would be a kind act to let you come over. I'll even let you take pictures to hang on your wall once you go home.
You know what? I'd love to go. I'm genuinely curious to see what type of luxurious place you'll be living in, so thank you for inviting me.
Of course! As the French once said, noblesse oblige. Let us nobles be empathetic for the poor. You know, Katie and I's total annual income has just exceeded $200,000. It sounds like a dream even to me. I'll show you a view that you'll never be able to forget.
Hello, Rachel. Thank you for coming over today. I always thought that the poor people never had the time or mental space to be wasting their time. But I guess I was wrong. Thank you for making time for us in your busy schedule. Do you never get bored of making fun of me? And you have something to say to me before anything else, don't you? What the hell was that? Why would you throw coins at me when I was leaving? I mean, you brought some gifts with you as congratulations for moving in, didn't you? Well, I was raised to always give back for anything given. We're never seeing each other again, so I thought it would be a good idea to give back to you right there on the spot. Give back. Do you consider throwing coins at me as giving back to me? Oh my, do you not? I thought that the cheap-looking flowers in the vase that you brought today were worth a few dollars. If I'm giving back something of the same value, then I thought a few coins would fit for that. How could you say that? You know, I've always expected you to be poor, but I never expected you to be this poor. I mean, who brings that kind of obviously cheap thing as a gift for others? Those flowers that you gave me made me sure of my theory. People who aren't educated properly have no choice but to become poor. I'd like to thank you for making me reassure myself that I'll never make my children become like you. I chose my present myself, just for the two of you. I heard that you two were moving into a nice apartment, so I thought some flowers and a nice vase would bring the whole interior together. That vase is an artwork that was made by a famous potter. I won't tell you the price because it's a gift, but it's a very nice gift and you should appreciate it. Whatever. You don't have to try so hard to make yourself seem like something that you're not. Through the educated eyes of my husband and I, we can obviously tell that this vase isn't worth anything more than a few dollars. Did you get it at Dollar Tree? Wait, let me guess. You just made it yourself so that you wouldn't have to spend money, didn't you? Seriously. However you got it, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry, but my husband and I have already thrown away the flowers and the vase that you bought today. I see that you chose it yourself. But it just emits some sort of poor, malicious energy that we couldn't take. There was no other choice. I'm sorry. How rude of you. All I wanted to do was congratulate you on beginning a new chapter, and this is what you do in return? I've already gotten used to you making fun of my educational background, but this is just purely heartless of you. I can't take this anymore. Well, then it's great timing, isn't it? We're never going to see each other again, so you can hate us all you want. You'll never have to see us again, and we'll never have to see you either. I mean, I hope so, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have to see you again. What are you talking about? There's no way we're ever wasting another minute talking to you. We're officially strangers now, which means that you'll never be stepping foot in our house either. What a bummer. I'm glad that you at least got to see what a nice house meant for educated and rich people looks like. I'm sorry to break it to you, but I own this building. What? It's true that a lot of people who live here have great educational backgrounds, but it's not like I made that a rule as the owner. I don't care about where you came from as long as you're able to pay the rent. And I don't appreciate how you feel entitled enough to make the rules around here when I literally make them myself. I get that you're mad, but making obvious lies doesn't help your situation, honey. Whether you believe it or not, I own this building, and that's all there is to it. The room that you showed me, as if you owned the whole world, that room is mine, and you're paying me to live in it. If you don't believe me, come on over to the top floor. You'll see the whole floor is my house. The whole top floor? You two looked so dumb when you were telling me that I'd never live in such a nice place. Every cent that you spend to live here comes to me, for God's sake. Are you kidding? How is that possible? In what world would a high school graduate own a building like this? You're lying to feel better about yourself, aren't you? You can even look at the papers that you signed to finalize the moving in process. You'll see that the room is under my name. Really? I don't care what you want to believe, but if you're going to keep trying to believe that I'm lying, then take a look at it and then bother me. I'll be going then. I'm still furious at the two of you. The coins that you threw at me will be going to donation, by the way.
Rachel, answer the phone right now. How on earth did you end up owning a building like this? This is impossible.
Looks like you finally took a proper look at the papers. How did you not notice anything when you were signing them, for God's sakes?
Even if they had the same name as you, I never thought it would be you. I just thought you had the same name as the owner by coincidence. I mean, who would think that it's their high school graduate sister that owns this place? You're supposed to be a poor lowlife.
Yes, I would be a poor lowlife if I hadn't worked as hard as I did.
What?
No matter how much the two of you would harass me, I stayed focused on my work and brought myself to this position. After paying off our parents' debt, I earned countless certificates to qualify for all kinds of jobs. One of the many jobs that I'd experienced was caretaking. On that job, I ended up working as a caretaker for a wealthy madam who worked alone in her mansion.
At a mansion?
Yes, I got sent there by coincidence at first, but she really liked the way I did things. She ended up scouting me to work for her personally, so I left my company and worked as her personal caretaker.
What kind of fairy tale scenario is that?
I took very good care of her until she passed away years later. In the end, it turned out that she left all of her inheritance under my name.
And you're saying that this building was part of that inheritance?
Yes, this is one of the many buildings and apartments that she left behind for me.
What the hell? All you had to do was take care of some rich old lady for a few years and you got all of that? That's not supposed to happen in real life.
Well, it did, and now I'm the owner of the apartment that you live in. The madam told me that she had to struggle quite a bit when she was younger, and that she was the same as me, a high school graduate. Because of that, her marriage got cancelled and she was harassed at her workplace for years. She said I reminded her of herself.
The old lady never went to college either?
Isn't it amazing? No matter what the odds or what anyone else said to her, she still kept working towards her goals. In the end, she became the queen of real estate in this area. I mean, she was rich enough to hire a personal caretaker, so that says a lot about her wealth. I earned tons and gained a lot of inspiration in the last few years that I was by her side.
But why on earth would you hide that all from me? Not even Mom or Dad know that you have this much wealth, do they?
Of course Mom and Dad know everything about this. They were the first people that I told.
Really?
Yeah, I even suggested that they started living with me, but they said they're going to pass on the offer. That they were glad I was happy, and that they want me to live my own life since they took so much away from me when I was young.
Then why didn't you tell me too?
Why did you think that I would even think about telling you? Do you not remember how many times you made fun of me for not having gone to college? I'm not bored enough to deal with you. Anyways, when are you planning to leave your apartment? I hope you're already beginning to pack your things up.
What do you mean? Why would we move out? We just moved here.
You wouldn't want to live in an apartment owned by a high school graduate, would you? I mean, solely judging by the way you and your wife persistently harassed me for years about my educational background, of course. Seems only logical that you move out to avoid paying such a person for living. Or do you plan on continuing to live in my apartment? Because if that's the case, then you probably won't be able to achieve your goal of never letting your baby see me. And besides, your pride as an elite probably couldn't handle the fact that someone below you is literally living on top of you, could you?
I don't believe this. I'm supposed to be the successful one out of the two of us. But even if it's below you, this room is still something that I worked hard to earn. And I paid tons of initial fees. I just can't move out right away. I even invited some friends to come check it out. I can't back out now.
Whatever, I don't care whether you keep living here or move out. As the owner of your room, the only thing I care about is that you pay me your rent. Well then, it's good doing business with you. Hey Rachel, I just had a quick question if you don't mind. Do you think you could give us a discount on the rent as the owner, or could you possibly move us to a higher floor for the same amount of rent? Is that even a real question? No, I won't allow either of those things. Come on, Rachel, aren't we sisters? I'm sure you could work something out for us. Please? How many personalities do you have? Do you think I'm just going to forget about the evil stepsister that harassed me for years? I finally had an epiphany. It's just wrong and stupid to make fun of people for their educational background. You couldn't possibly measure a person's worth with such a superficial trait. I'll apologize for every single thing I've done and said that offended you, so let's start over as besties. Seriously. Yes, aren't you glad to finally have the loving little sister that you always wanted? We should go and have some tea together sometime. I'm pregnant, but I'm still doing well enough to go out on my own. If you're so bored, then why don't you just go get a proper job? I'm sure your college degree would get you a decent job. Maybe you'll finally be able to quit your part-time job. What? I hate to break it to you, but I know everything about you two. As the owner, I have the right to check your annual incomes. You two have been telling me that you're elites who work for mega companies. $200,000 a year. Why the hell would you lie about that? I know that you two only make $60,000 a year combined, and you only have a part-time job. How? Where did you find out? I found out when the two of you tried to move in. I heard that the real estate company declined the two of you because of your annual salaries. And that you two were making excuses that you'd just been fired recently. And that you'd been making $200,000 a year until last year. Mark promised that he would be promoted and would make as much as he used to right away, right? And that you'd get a proper job as soon as you could. How do you know the exact lines of our conversation? You even showed them your student IDs from college, right? Do you really think student IDs from years ago mean anything at all in the real world? How? The real estate agency contacted me right away. And I said you can move in since it's all up to me in the end. All because I cut you some slack as your older sister. Really? But what do you do in return? Try to negotiate prices and pay less. I don't think I've ever met anyone as greedy as you. If you have time to be negotiating prices with me, then why don't you find a job? As you promised, go ahead and show that you're an elite. Of course, that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. It's just that I'm pregnant right now. And I heard that Mark isn't doing too well at his workplace either. Look, I don't care about the reason why you two ended up getting fired from your previous jobs. But you better keep every single promise that you made at the office. If you even make one delayed payment, you're out. Isn't that a bit harsh? I think it's great that you two care enough about your child to move just to give them a good learning environment. But biting off more than you can chew is never a good idea. I heard the preschools around here cost tens of thousands per year, and that's just the beginning. Kids cost more and more as they get older. What? Preschools here cost that much? Did you not look up the living expenses around here before moving in? I I mean, we just thought that living in the city would be enough. Breathing the same air and seeing the same sights as smart people is important in raising a smart child, right? Living in a nice environment won't automatically make your kids smarter. Isn't that common sense? I think the two of you should have a nice, long talk about the future. Compare your income with the living expenses around here and come back to me with an answer. Because things won't always go your way just because you went to a nice university. I found out later on, but the reason that the two of them got fired from their jobs in the first place was simply because they were bad at what they did. They would go around harassing people who didn't go to nice schools like them, but wouldn't do much work either and ended up getting fired. After our conversation, the two properly compared their earnings with their expenses. Told me later that week that they would give up their dream apartment. After that, I heard that they moved into a cheaper apartment. Sometimes I receive texts from Katie asking me to support her child's educational fees, and that they want to make their kids get into the top schools in the nation. And I just send pictures of the view from my apartment in response.
Hey, Sue, I just wanted to double check with you that the barbecue is this Sunday, right? I just need to know because my work is asking if I can cover for someone on Saturday, and I don't want to commit if that's when we have the barbecue. Also, I was just going to make some potato salad to bring with me, and maybe my rhubarb crumble. Is that okay? No one is allergic to rhubarb, are they?
Oh, Faye, yes. It's still this Sunday, and I don't think anyone is allergic to rhubarb, if you want to make that.
Oh, great. I look forward to it. I'll see you then.
See you then.
Faye, sweetie, where are you? I woke up this morning and you left. I didn't think you were working today. I mean, it is the barbecue after all. Will you be back in time to go to my mom's for it?
What? But the barbecue isn't until tomorrow, isn't it?
No, it's today.
But I asked your mom. She said that I double-checked with her so I knew whether or not to accept the shift. I swear, your mom said it was tomorrow.
I don't know why she would tell you that. Maybe she got confused about which day it was, but the barbecue's definitely happening today. Will you be able to make it to my mom's house by 12? That's when it's starting.
No, unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. My boss asked me to cover for someone today, and their shift was 9 to 5. I won't be able to make it to your mom's house until, 7. I'd have to go home and get changed and everything first, and then your mom's house is an hour away.
Oh, well, it might be a bit late by then. Everyone will probably be leaving and winding down for the evening. Plus, all the food will be cold by then. Why did you accept this shift? I thought you were off work this weekend.
It was last minute. They were really short-staffed, so they asked me to cover. But I never would have said yes if I had known that the barbecue was today. I was looking forward to saying hi to everyone there.
I guess we'll just have to do something some other time with everyone.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I really didn't know. I would have never accepted this shift otherwise.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking forward to spending the day with you and my family is all. It would have been nice to talk to everyone before the wedding as a couple, too.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm really sorry, but I've got to get back to work now.
Yeah, of course. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later. I love you.
I love you too.
Hey, Rick, I've just finished work. Do you want me to see if I could get over to your mom's?
Hey, sweetie. No, it's okay. I think everything's just winding down now, and people will be leaving soon. By the time you get here, everyone will be going home, and you'd have made the journey for nothing. Why don't you just relax and unwind after your day, and I'll see you soon, okay?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Hey, don't feel down. How about I pick you up some Chinese food on the way back?
That sounds really nice, actually. Thank you.
It's no problem. I love you.
I love you too. Hey, Sue? I just wanted to apologize for not being at the barbecue today. I think you might have gotten your days mixed up or something when I spoke to you last. So I ended up accepting a shift for today, thinking that the barbecue would be tomorrow. I'll have to catch you at the next one.
Faye, why on earth are you apologizing? Everything worked out perfectly.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, let's face it, honey. This was a family barbecue, and, well, you're not family. I didn't really want you here, so I made sure my plans didn't involve you.
What? But why?
I literally just said that you're not a part of my family. Weren't you listening? You're really not the brightest girl, are you?
I know what you said, but why? I mean, I know Rick and I aren't married yet, but I'm still his fiancé. That means that I'm technically a part of your family.
Look, even when you do marry my son, I won't consider you to be a part of my family. You're just not the right kind of person to fit in with everyone. We'd be much better off without you, and so I honestly don't think that you should be here anymore.
Where on earth is all of this coming from? I thought we were getting along well.
Well, of course I'd play nice in front of my son, but the truth is that I truly think that he could do so much better than you, and so of course I don't want you coming to any of my family get-togethers. It would just be very hypocritical of me to act as if I'm accepting you into the family when, really, I'm not.
But I've not done anything.
Oh no, it's not that you've done anything. You just simply don't fit in with who I want in my family. That's all. So, of course, I'll have to make sure that you don't get the wrong idea and think that you're actually welcome. Anyway, hopefully I won't be seeing you soon. Oh, and before I forget, I've arranged for the family to go away for a long weekend in a few weeks. It'll be on the 20th of July.
But that's my hen night. It's all been arranged by my maid of honor. I can't just cancel on them. We were all looking forward to it.
Yes, I know. Why do you think I arranged it for them?
So you've purposely arranged a family vacation for a date that I won't be available, just so I wouldn't be able to come with everyone?
Yep.
Right, that's it. I'm definitely going to be telling Rick about all of this.
You can try. I doubt he'll believe someone he's known for a couple of years over his own mother who raised him. He'll just think you're jealous.
I'm not scared. I've been with him for ages now. We know each other and he knows that I wouldn't lie about this kind of thing. I'm not that kind of person.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see then, won't we?
Whatever. I'll talk with him right now. Hey, Rick, are you still at your mom's house?
Hey, sweetie. Yeah, I was just about to head out, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, did you know that your mom had arranged a family weekend away for the weekend I'm having my hen party?
Huh? The 20th?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe she forgot that it was your hen weekend?
No, she didn't. I messaged her saying that I was sorry that I couldn't make it to the barbecue today. And she said that she purposely told me the wrong day and that she's made this family getaway purposefully on the weekend of my hen do, just so I couldn't come.
What? No, she wouldn't do that. She loves you.
No, she really doesn't.
Look, you've had a long day at work, so maybe you're just tired and misunderstanding something.
I'm not. I've got all of the texts here between your mom and I, so I can prove that what I've said is the truth.
Well, let me talk to my mom, okay?
She's just going to deny it.
Well, if you've been messaging her, then she'll have the text on her phone as well. I'll just ask to see those.
Okay.
Okay, so I've talked to her and she said that you were the one who was mean to her in the past, like when we first started dating, and so she hasn't really felt comfortable being around you since then.
What? That's not true at all.
Are you sure? You didn't say anything that she could have potentially misunderstood when you first met her?
No, you were there when I first met her. I was just me. I couldn't have been any kinder. I wanted to make a good impression. Apparently, I failed at that.
Well, maybe we just need to get together and talk everything through. I don't want you and my mom at each other's throats all the time. I love you both, so if we can sort this out, then the least we can do is try.
Okay, I'm willing to for you.
Thank you. I'll be heading home now, so I won't be able to respond to any texts. I'll see you soon.
Okay, I'll see you soon. I love you.
Ugh, I can't believe you actually told on me to my son. What a little witch you are. It wasn't enough to take my little boy, but now you're actually trying to turn him against me? Well, two can play at this game. By the time I'm through, he'll wish that he never met you.
Look, Sue, I'm not trying to turn anyone against you. You're the one trying to exclude me from the family and basically from Rick's life.
Yeah, well, that's because you deserve it. You're just a horrible, ugly little witch who in no way deserves my son.
Okay, I'm done. I'm just not going to bother talking to you. You obviously won't change how you feel about me no matter what, so I'm just going to go and relax for the rest of my evening. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Whatever. Just don't bother me or my family ever again.
I'm marrying Rick in 3 months, so that's going to be quite difficult to do.
You won't be if I have anything to say about it.
Huh? Seriously, Sue? You're trying to exclude me from my own wedding rehearsal dinner? Rick told me all about it. How you were trying to tell him to just forget about me and do the dinner with you as my stand-in. I mean, that's just so messed up, I don't even know where to begin.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's my son, so I should be able to have dinner with him.
Not my wedding dinner.
Whatever. I thought I told you not to bother my family ever again.
You know what? I didn't want to do this, but you left me with no choice. I've talked it over with Rick, and after seeing how you've been treating me and not even attempting to get along with me, he's agreed with this decision.
Oh, what's that then?
You're uninvited from the wedding.
What? You can't do that. That's not right. It's my son's wedding, so I get to come no matter what.
Actually, no, you don't. I didn't want to exclude you from the biggest day of our lives, but you've left me no choice. Rick is sad to do it, but he knows with how you've been acting that you're just going to try and ruin our wedding, and he doesn't want that either. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
You utter cow. You've been planning this from the start. You've turned my own son against me. You're not good for him. I hate you.
Uh-huh. Unless you can start acting like a mature adult and actually trying to get along with me, for Rick's sake, then you're just going to have to be excluded from things that include the both of us. I won't stop him from seeing you, of course, as he's your son, but I won't be there. And if we are planning to do something together, then you obviously won't be invited.
I haven't even done anything. You're just trying to make me out to be the villain here.
I've not done anything. You've made this mess yourself. If you want to get out of it, then you need to start acting like a mature adult.
Fine. I'm sorry, okay? Now I can come to the wedding.
It doesn't work like that. You can't just say you're sorry and expect to get your own way. You need to actually show that you're willing to try. You've got a couple of weeks until the wedding, so maybe if you're able to show that you're willing to change, you can come.
Fine.
Well then, goodbye for now. I guess we'll talk soon.
Whatever.
My mother-in-law did end up coming to the wedding, but she was constantly monitored by our daughters. She did try to make a scene when we were doing the speeches, but Rick quickly shut her down and told her to be quiet or she would be asked to leave. Needless to say, after that she didn't make a sound. Our relationship still isn't great, but Rick and the rest of his family have finally come to realize the truth about their mom. They have all taken my side and don't see her as much now. I feel bad, but at the same time, it was her own behavior that landed her in the position that she's in. Maybe she'll start to rethink her behavior soon. Until then, me and my husband are more than happy with one another.